Tonight, when you fall asleep, your brain is going to activate this incredible cleaning system. Its entire job is to flush out the toxic proteins that cause Alzheimer's disease.
But here's the thing that almost nobody knows. The position you sleep in, well, it determines whether that system actually works or fails. So let's get right into this, because what you're about to hear might be one of the most important things you ever do for your long-term brain health. So get this, a really important study found that people who already have a neurodegenerative disease were 3.7 times more likely to spend a big chunk of the night sleeping on their backs. Now that is not a small number. That is a massive red flag, and it's pointing directly at a position that so many of us fall into without even thinking about it. So the big question is, are you one of them? Could your favorite way of sleeping actually be putting your brain at risk? You know, if you snore or if you wake up feeling exhausted even after a full night's sleep, this is especially for you. But here's the good news. There is a simple, really powerful fix, and I'm going to walk you through a 5-step switch that you can literally make starting tonight. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we're going to meet your brain's nightly cleaning crew. Then we'll reveal the sleep position that causes the most damage and expose its double threat. After that, we get super practical with the 5-step switch you can make tonight. And finally, I'll show you why this is one of the most powerful brain protectors you have at your disposal. All right, let's start with what I think is one of the most incredible discoveries in modern neuroscience. You see, it wasn't until 2012 that scientists finally figured out that our brains have their own dedicated, super efficient cleaning crew that pretty much only works the night shift. It's called the glymphatic system, and you can think of it like a biological power washer for your brain. It uses cerebrospinal fluid, that's the clear liquid surrounding your brain, to flush out all the metabolic junk. And most importantly, this includes those 2 toxic proteins you've probably heard of, amyloid-beta, which builds up into plaques, and tau, which forms tangles. These are without a doubt the classic signs of Alzheimer's disease. Okay, but how does it even work? This is the amazing part. When you're in deep, slow-wave sleep, your brain cells actually shrink by about 60%. This shrinkage opens up all these channels between the cells, which allows that cerebrospinal fluid to just rush through and carry all those toxins away. It's just a beautiful and brilliant piece of biological engineering. And make no mistake, this process is almost exclusively a nighttime activity. During the day, this system is barely running. It really needs you to be in deep sleep to do its job properly. And here's what makes this so urgent, especially if you're over 50. As we get older, this system just naturally gets less efficient. That means that every single thing we can do to help it work better, every single night, becomes absolutely critical. So if deep sleep is what powers this whole system, what could possibly stand in its way? Well, that brings us to a groundbreaking study from 2015 at Stony Brook University. For the very first time, researchers used advanced MRI to actually watch the glymphatic system working in real time in different sleep positions. And what they found was a total game changer. The results couldn't have been clearer. When people were lying on their side, what they call the lateral position, brain waste clearance was the most efficient. The fluid just flowed perfectly, flushing toxins out. But when they were on their backs, the system was way less efficient. Waste was actually being left behind. And sleeping on your stomach, that was the worst of all. And this isn't just a lab finding anymore. It's been confirmed in humans. More recent studies that looked at patients with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and cognitive impairment all found the same thing. Patients with neurodegeneration were 3.7 times more likely to be back sleepers. Let me say that again, nearly 4 times more likely. This is so fundamental to our biology that Dr. Micah Nettergaard, one of the people who discovered the system, thinks we probably evolved to sleep this way for this exact reason. And here's the part that just makes so much sense. About 74% of us naturally prefer to sleep on our sides. Your body already knows what's best for it. The real question is, are you listening? But this is where the story gets even more urgent. It turns out that a slowdown in brain cleaning is only the first part of the problem when it comes to sleeping on your back. There is a second, equally serious threat that you need to know about. So first, let's just be crystal clear on threat number 1. Sleeping on your back directly gets in the way of flushing out those toxic proteins. The drainage pathways just don't work as well in that position. And that means amyloid-beta and tau don't get cleared out properly. Night after night, that can lead to a dangerous buildup. But the second threat is sleep apnea. See, when you lie on your back, gravity becomes your enemy. It pulls your tongue and the soft tissues in your throat downward, which can narrow or even completely block your airway. For millions of people, this is the main reason they have obstructive sleep apnea. So what's the big deal with sleep apnea? Well, it makes you stop breathing over and over again, which literally starves your brain of oxygen. It also shatters your sleep into tiny pieces, destroying that deep, slow-wave sleep your glymphatic system desperately needs to work. And here's the kicker. A shocking new study found that these low oxygen events specifically damage the entorhinal cortex, which is one of the very first parts of the brain that Alzheimer's attacks. It's just a vicious cycle. Okay, that is the problem, and I know it sounds serious, but the solution is wonderfully simple, and it's something you have complete control over. This is how you make the switch to side sleeping, and you can start tonight.
Step 1. Build a pillow fortress. Seriously, put a long body pillow right up against your back to keep you from rolling over. Some sleep doctors even suggest what's called the tennis ball technique, sewing a tennis ball onto the back of an old t-shirt. It works. Make sure your head pillow is the right height to keep your spine in a straight line. Put a small pillow between your knees. This aligns your hips and takes a ton of pressure off your lower back. If you can, try to sleep on your left side. It has some extra benefits for your heart and can help reduce acid reflux. And finally, be patient with yourself. It can take a couple of weeks for a new sleep position to feel natural. Just stick with it. And of course, your sleep position is part of a bigger picture. You can give your brain's cleaning system even more support with some simple habits. Try to get a consistent 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Take a daily walk, eat foods rich in omega-3s, stay hydrated, and do what you can to manage stress. So let's bring this all home. I really want you to think of this information not as something to be afraid of, but as a powerful gift. It's knowledge you can act on the minute your head hits the pillow. I want you to remember this number. Patients with neurodegenerative diseases are nearly 4 times more likely to be habitual back sleepers. This is such a clear, consistent signal coming from all the research. Protecting your brain this way doesn't require any pills. It doesn't cost you a single penny, and you definitely don't need a prescription for it. It's something you have complete and total control over, starting tonight. So tonight, as you're getting into bed, just take a moment and remember what your brain needs from you. It needs to flush out all the toxins that built up during the day, and it needs you on your side to do that vital work. One pillow behind your back, one between your knees. It's such a simple change, but it could help protect your brain for the rest of your life. Your brain cleans itself every single night. Help it do its job. Start tonight.